What is going on, beautiful people? It has been too long, but I'm back with some value for you guys. In today's video, I'm gonna show you my exact upper body isometric routine that keeps my upper body pain-free, healthy, athletic, and that has bulletproofed my shoulders after years of just thinking that shoulder pain was part of the game and for the love of the game. You know what I'm talking about? I would head into the gym, have a heavy bench day ahead of me, do some shoulder arm circles, do a little this, a little bit of that, stretch a little bit, but nah, to no avail. And I would always deal with shoulder pain, my rotator cuffs afterward. This banded isometric routine is heavily focused on the shoulders because the shoulders are such a common pain point, and they were for me as well. But it really does an amazing job at fortifying the entire upper body. It relies on very similar, the same principles really as the lower body banded isometric routine. If you haven't watched that video, you should go check it out. It'll give you a ton more context. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're simply applying the same principles that have worked for the lower body banded isometrics to our upper body. The same way that the lower body banded isos built the foundation for my lower body, rebuilt me after knee surgery, is the same way that these upper body banded isos are building the foundation for my upper body. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're about to just get into the meat and potatoes of this routine, and it's a super simple routine. We're gonna be isolating pretty much every muscle in our upper body, but what I want you to understand is that this is not isolation for the sake of isolation. We're strategically reinforcing the foundation of the upper body, right? Bulletproofing the shoulder, reinforcing the elbow, right? All these joints that are common problem points, because so many people will just go in the gym, they'll lift heavy or just do a bunch of machine work, a bunch of hypertrophy work, but they're never servicing their vehicle. They're never taking care of it, and they wonder why pain and complication follows, right? That's a lesson I had to learn the hard way from my lower body, but with the banded isometric routine for the lower, resolved it. Same exact thing for this upper body. And the cool thing is, the first movement here is a bicep curl. When you do these properly, all of these are meant to be done 15 seconds, maximum effort. When you do these properly, this maximum effort creates an irradiation effect. We'll call it there. An irradiation effect, in simple terms, is when you apply max effort to one muscle group, your nervous system naturally recruits other muscles around it. So that bicep curl, the primary mover is the bicep, but I'm also recruiting some of the lat, some of the shoulder, some of the forearm, etc. That's why this serves as such an amazing warm-up routine, right? Before your sessions, because you're getting everything super activated. If you're not familiar with isometrics, they're optimal for muscle recruitment, for blood flow, for activation, and depending on how you do it, you can do shorter duration for fast twitch muscle fiber recruitment, right, for more of that irradiation effect, or you can do longer duration, 30 seconds to a minute, for more tendon health and connective tissue resilience, right? You can adjust your intention. You might want to do longer duration on active recovery, but shorter duration as a warm-up, right? So these are all things you can keep in mind. You're truly only limited by your own understanding and then your creativity. So first was a regular grip bicep curl. Next, we're gonna work these forearm extensors, the brachioradialis, this reverse grip curl. And so everything is 2 sets of 15 seconds for demonstration purposes, and for simplicity's sake, I'm probably gonna cut some of these short, only do 1 set of each, maybe only do 1 arm just to show you guys and keep things short and sweet. Once you do that reverse curl, pretty much everything with the forearm, the bicep, it's gonna be super warm. Now we can start showing the shoulders some love. So I'll start with the lateral raise iso. You might be wondering, why isn't your arm up here? Why aren't you raising all the way up? This is where I top out. This is a high resistance band. And right now, right here is max effort. The primary mover here, I'm trying to lead with my elbow, is this lateral delt, but I also feel my trap starting to recruit and really my entire shoulder. We'll hit both sides here. And that's the cool thing about this irradiation effect. I'm stimulating the crap out of my shoulder, and the lateral delt is the primary mover, but I'm recruiting so much more, which makes this such an amazing warm-up routine. And so I'll typically do unilateral front raise, but just for the video, simplicity's sake, we'll do bilateral. So once you've done the curls, the lateral raise, the front raise, you're pretty warm. Your nervous system is getting amped up. Your shoulders have some blood flow. Now we're gonna really work on the posterior side of things with this banded pull-apart iso. One important cue here is that you wanna reach max effort, like right here. This gives you the most quality contraction in your rear delts and in your upper back. Oh. Guys, for the longest time, I would deal with issues in my upper back. Like I would get into like a heavy press, like a heavy bench press, heavy overhead press, and I would feel like a tweak. I would tweak stuff, whether it was in like my rhomboid, like my mid to low trap. This stuff has eradicated that, along with other yielding isometrics like the inverted row iso, some lateral raise isos with kettlebells. I've done a bunch of different isometric work, but I've been able to eliminate all of these weak points, and it's been such a blessing to work through. So got the front raise, lateral raise, pull apart. Now we can get into some of the cooler stuff here. And we're gonna start showing some love to the rear delts and the rotators as well. So one of my favorite moves for the rear delt is this archer iso. We just wanna drive our elbow, we wanna keep our arm parallel to the ground and just drive this elbow back. And you can kind of play around with like whether you want to slightly elevate your hand or slightly depress it. But right here is where I'm starting to feel a ton on the rear delt. And the next move following this is getting into probably one of the most neglected muscles in the entire shoulder. Boom, we want to set the rear delt, the upper back here, and then get into external rotation. You'll notice my arm kind of tops out right here instead of like vertically. It's just due to the resistance of the band. When you set your shoulder properly, you take everything else out of it, and you just give yourself the opportunity to only focus on this rotation, which is super important. Developing your rotators, external rotation, then internal rotation, that's like foundational for shoulder integrity, for shoulder resilience, and it's been a game changer for me. Again, I keep harping on it, but my upper days, I love pressing heavy weight, but I can't do that with weak rotators or I'll continue to suffer shoulder pain. So reinforcing my rotator muscles helps to get rid of the shoulder pain and just build more shoulder integrity and resilience. So the same way we work external rotation, we want to work internal rotation. And so to set this up, we want a straight posture to prevent ourselves from leaning into it and making our torso do any of the movement. Same thing for the external. But for this internal, we want to allow the band to pull us into external rotation and then fight it into internal. Hold this for 15 seconds. Ooh, I'll call it there. I've had a couple of takes of these, so my shit's already kind of smoked. You could really call it there and you'd be very well off. But just as some finishing touches, we're gonna touch up on the tricep. We're gonna touch up on the lats as well. And by the end of this routine, you'll be ready for whatever upper body movement, whatever upper body session that you have to embark on. Or if you're using this for active recovery purposes, you'll flush a ton of blood flow, promote healing, promote reinforcement. You'll be depositing longevity tokens in working these properly by just helping to bulletproof your upper body. So tricep extension, we want everything to be fixed. Elbow, want to be the primary mover here. Just extend it out. We can hold this here. Boom. And then very similar to it, we'll back up a little bit. Want to keep our elbow now fixed in position and tuck the whole arm in and feel this left lat just lit up. Boom. And then last but not least, we're going to grab a higher resistance band and we're going to work a bent over row iso. So I'll turn to the side just so you guys can see kind of my posture with this. We don't want to be like this, pulling like that. You want to have a strong posture, kind of like an RDL or a deadlift, neutral spine, strong hinge, and then just drive the elbows up. Boom. I can even feel my glutes stabilizing here, which is another really cool feature. Boom. That is all you need to, number one, have an amazing upper body session and have an amazing warm up for your upper body session. Or number two, active recovery purposes, you go in there, maybe a lighter band, lighter intention, not that max effort, not 15 seconds, maybe go for 30 seconds to a minute to promote more of that healing, more of the connective tissue, tendon resilience, etc. That's the routine. And what I want you to understand is the philosophy behind it. Because what I tell my clients is that you're only limited by your own understanding and by your creativity. This banded isometric routine was founded upon the same principles as the lower body banded isometric routine, right? The same routine that got me from knee surgery, I don't know if you guys can see the scar, to pistol squats on command, is the same way that I use this routine to bulletproof my shoulders that were constantly giving me pain and trouble for my upper body. So if you guys are using this for rehabilitative purposes, let pain be your guide, right? No need to push through that. Hopefully you guys got some value from that banded isometric routine. If you implement it and do it properly, it'll change the game for your upper days. It'll change the entire health, athleticism, and eliminate all pain from your upper body, done properly, done consistently. And if you haven't seen the banded isometric routine for the lower body, you're missing out a ton. That's on my channel. I'll probably put it in the description or somewhere up here. I don't know. And if you guys want to see more daily content about isometrics, how I train, etc., I'll put my Instagram in the description here as well. But hopefully you guys got some value. Like, subscribe, the whole nine. I'll see you on the next one. Peace, love, prosperity.